Hey guys, you're watching Vinyl for Miles. I'm Michael, and this is part 2 of the Record Store Day 2019 video series. These are my top picks. Now, why would you listen to me, you ask yourself? Well, I've been a music fan since I can remember, and I've been involved in the music industry as a professional for over 15 years. I have gone anywhere from writing, producing, engineering. I've even done album covers for some quite successful artists. So I know a thing or two about music. I consider myself a good person to critique music when it comes to mixes, when it comes to mastering, especially for vinyl, because I understand when it comes to vinyl, things need to be very, very specific on the mix and the mastering. So here's my top picks. See if you like them. Go support Record Store Day, and let's get this started. So this is my top picks for Record Store Day 2019. I have my list here. I'm going to try to put the album cover up here somewhere so you can see what it looks like, so when you get to the store you know exactly what you're looking at. But the number one pick for me is the Cro Soundtrack. Alright, it's the original motion picture soundtrack. I think this is the first time in forever that it's been pressed, and it's the first time it's been on a double album. So it's been pressed in the past, but I am almost positive it was missing songs. So the reason the Crow is so important to me is, number one, it's my favorite movie. Number two, my band Sojourners, I'll put a link at the bottom here. We wrote a song called The Avenger, which was dedicated to the memory of Brandon Lee. So I'm a huge nerd when it comes to the Crow. Not only that, that same album my band wrote was produced by Frank Greiner, who was the engineer on the soundtrack that I'm talking about. So extremely important to me. If I get there and they're sold out, I'm gonna end up buying it somewhere else. But the Cro Soundtrack, keep your eyes peeled for that one, all right? The next pick on my list is the Lost in Translation soundtrack. Another soundtrack that's just amazing. Pick that one up. I think it comes on like a translucent purple copy. It stands alone by itself even if you hate the film. It's a really good copy to pick up this Record Store Day. All right, so my next pick will be, it's actually more than one album, the band Tangerine Dream. So Tangerine Dream, they've been around for quite some time, all the way from the early, I think the late 70s, all the way up until now. They've gone through all kinds of lineup changes. They've done some crazy historic work. They did the soundtrack for Thief. They also did the soundtrack for Grand Theft Auto 5. This band is amazing. You need to check them out if you haven't heard of them, which I guarantee you have, but you might not know it. So they have 3 albums this year for Record Store Day. They have Le Parc, they have Poland, and they have Machu Picchu. One of those is on K-Scope Records, which is one of my favorite labels. So check out Tangerine Dream. My next pick is going to be Green Day, Woodstock 1994. So this is a live album from Green Day, and it came out with the Dookie Tour. So a lot of people will give you crap for being a Green Day fan these days because they're so popular, like U2. They're one of the most popular bands in the world. But this was before they were superstars. This is a great tour, and it's also a great live album. So check it out, Green Day, Woodstock 1994. All right, my next pick is going to be Green Jelly, Serial Killer. I was just watching this last night with my family. When I was much younger in the 90s, a good friend of mine had the VHS tape. It has the Three Little Pigs song. It has Man on it. There's all kinds of good tracks on there. There's some people on this record from some really, really famous bands now in the metal world. So check that one out, Green Jelly, Serial Killer. It's also a comedy album. So if you're a fan of Gwar, fan of Tool, any kind of 90s music, you will definitely like that one. All right, the next pick I have is Hailstorm Buzz 7-inch. So this is going to not be a full album. 2 years ago, Hailstorm released the Reanimate 3.0 right here. But this year they're doing a special 7-inch that has 1 single and then 1 B-side on it. So check that out, Hailstorm Buzz 7-inch. All right, so my next pick on the list will be Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, 4-Way Street Expanded Edition. This is a live album from that lineup with Neil Young, sometime in the 70s, I believe. I have the album with Young on it on vinyl, and it's one of my favorites. I love Neil Young, I love Crosby, Stills, and Nash, so this is definitely one worth picking up. I'm not too sure what the expanded edition includes, but obviously it's something that's not on the regular one. So, all right. My next pick is Goo Goo Dolls Typography. Now this is a box set from Goo Goo Dolls. It's gonna have some random albums on it. I'm not sure how they picked it, but I do know Dizzy Up the Girl's included. I think A Boy Named Goo's on there. So there's gonna be 5 records in this box set. It's probably gonna be pricey. I might not pick it up, but that's definitely on my list. Goo Goo Dolls Typography. All right, so the next one on my list, Mastodon, Stairway to Nick John. I don't know what this is. Honestly, it has a picture of a guy's face on it. I'm not sure if that's a friend of theirs who's passed or what it is, but I love Mastodon. I have every one of their albums, so I'm probably going to pick that one up. My next pick is going to be Rush. I'm a huge Rush fan. Hemispheres is going to be on a picture disc. Not the biggest fan of picture discs, but this is a limited edition. It looks really nice, and this is Rush we're talking about. They're huge audiophiles. They're huge on vinyl, so I know it'll at least sound decent. So I'm probably going to pick this one up. I actually don't have Hemispheres right now. So if it doesn't work out, I'll sell it and I'll buy another copy. So Rush Hemispheres, check it out. My next pick is going to be The Used, live from Maida Vale. I think that's in Spain. So this is a live album from The Used. This is actually a pick for my wife. Hopefully they have it in stock, so check that one out, The Used. My next pick is going to be Weezer, the Teal album. This is a covers record from Weezer that came out, I believe, late 2018 or early 2019. And I'm assuming it's going to be on Teal vinyl, but it's a killer album. It has their cover of Toto's Africa. They beef it up. The guitars are heavy. Check it out. Weezer Teal album. My next pick is going to be Frank Zappa, The Guitar World According to Frank. This one, limited edition. Frank Zappa is a god when it comes to music writing and guitar. Rest in peace. So check that one out from Frank Zappa. My next pick is another soundtrack. It's the Office Space soundtrack. So that's a cult classic, excellent movie. The soundtrack, I mean, it's a pretty good soundtrack. I don't know if this is going to be the score, if this is going to be the actual bands playing on it. I'm assuming it's the bands that were on the actual film. So check that one out, Office Space. I'm not sure what the variant is, if it's a picture disc or if it's a limited edition. So check that one out, Office Space. Now I'm going to get into some funny stuff. So I have kids. If you guys have kids, they included some releases for the children. So the first one is Baby Shark. It's Baby Shark 7-inch. My son's right behind me. He just perked up and looked at me. Yeah, Baby Shark. It's the original song and the remix they're printing. And then the next one is PJ Masks, Time to Be a Hero, original cast recording. I think this is taken from their Broadway-esque play. And this one's going to be on a double-sided picture disc. So if you have kids, there's two of them right there. All right. So that's my top picks for Record Store Day 2019. Hope this was helpful. Hope they have some of these in stock if you're interested too. If not, check out some more videos from my channel. This is Vinyl for Miles. I'm Michael. Thank you so much.